Everybody should please stand. Give a round of applause. Please stand. It's hard to organize 87 children. I have 4 myself. Ladies and gentlemen, now that we're all in place, a round of applause for the graduates of 2019. So now that that's out of the way, please, everybody take a seat. We just have to wait a few minutes. Everybody get comfortable and be prepared for a great ceremony. Good morning. I have the distinct pleasure and honor to serve as the MC for Jake's Academy of Public Speaking. I myself have 4 graduates, so as a percentage, we are the largest percentage in this graduating class. Our job today, during this graduation ceremony, is to unleash this vanguard of students who have the knowledge and the abilities through Jake's speech to unleash their talents in the world and truly make a difference. I'm a physician, I'm a cardiologist, and more specifically, I'm what's called an electrophysiologist. What that means is, I help try to keep people's heart rhythms in check. And as MC today, I will try to keep this procedure in rhythm. My 2 helpers with this graduation ceremony that I've been talking to that you might have seen is Aksa Varghese and Noel Roy. At this time, I would like to introduce the dignitaries that have graced us with their presence during this occasion. The first person that I would like to call is the CEO, Jerome Job. The next is the very honorable Senator Shelley B. Meyer of the State Senate, District 37. Next, I would like to introduce Suja Job, the Dean of Students. Next, I would like to introduce Abraham Thomas, the NITD Director. I would like to introduce Monty George of the Westchester County Medical Center. I would also like to introduce at this point Arvind Bhatnamaban of the India Center of Westchester County. And lastly, I would like to introduce the maestro of all of this, Jobson Jake. If I could ask John B., a future student of Jake's Academy, to present some flowers to our very esteemed senator. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Next, it's my distinct pleasure to invite Mr. Jerome Job, the CEO of Jake's Academy, to give us a welcome speech.
How's everyone doing today? Good morning. How great to see all these smiling faces in front of me today. And it is a lovely day outside too. Did you guys notice that? Great weather. You have anything to complain about today? Yeah? Not much? A little bit? Politics-wise, we're not going to talk about that right now, but we'll get there later. But it is quite remarkable how much this academy has grown over the years. Neither myself nor anybody in the Jake's team could have ever imagined such an incredible growth over these past few years. And sitting in a room with about 10 or 12 students to begin with, to see all these graduates today. Today we have, look at the sheer number of people in front of me. It's amazing, man. I love this. Don't you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Come on, energy, guys.
why didn't,
Come on. These
Why
guys
is
have
that?
the energy. You guys have to have the energy too.
Absolutely. But today, as we celebrate the achievements of all these wonderful people right here, we're blessed with the presence of some wonderful dignitaries. Although we are molding the movers and shakers of tomorrow, today with us, we have the presence of some of the leaders of today, who we can learn and respect and make us our role models in order to follow and become them one day. First, I would like to welcome Honorable Senator Shelley Mayer, who is with us today. She will be giving a keynote address later on. But what you may not have known is that about 4 years ago, Shelley Mayer, our senator right here, was the one to inaugurate the first Jake's location in Westchester County. Furthermore, I did some research, like I told her before, and she has been fighting for New Yorkers. She's been an advocate for New Yorkers for ages and ages. Right now, she's also a huge proponent for education in public school systems, as well as women's rights. And for all of this, we thank you, and we would like to welcome you into our midst. Since we're celebrating all these beautiful faces sitting in front of me, I'd be remiss in not mentioning our youngest graduate today. Our youngest graduate is 6 years old. He started with Jake's speech when he was only 2 years old. Can you believe that? So we have a total of 92 students graduating this year. But in them, 87 were able to attend today. Though the last 4 years of coaching at Jake's Speech, individuals have transformed into exemplary speakers and communicators. Without them, none of this would be possible. So thank you to all the grads for joining and persevering through this process. Now I did mention the 6-year-old baby in the cohort. Our 6-year-old, his name is George Matthew. Mr. Matthew would like everyone to be aware. Mr. Matthew would like everybody to be aware that he is, for his preschool, he is the prime spokesperson. Also, he has had great success with all the emceeing ceremonies of his school, especially the winter and summer concerts. He's also, although he joined at 2, can you believe that? Just wait till you hear his speech. I heard it last night and that was incredible, so we'll be waiting for that. Regardless, he's also the first place winner of the East American Diocese Storytelling Competition. I also see Mr. Thomas Abraham in our presence today. Mr. Thomas Abraham, how you doing? Mr. Thomas Abraham, hailing from Long Island, New York, is the president of the National Institute of Training and Development. He also serves as the assistant director of social work at his hospital, which is Woodhull Hospital. For over 10 years, Jakes has been holding classes in his center, and he has been helping us develop it into what it is today. So we thank you for all your support and dedication, and we welcome you to our ceremony. I'd also like to welcome Mr. Arvind Padmanabhan, who currently works as an engineer for the New York State Department. Thank you. Mr. Padmanabhan is the secretary of India Center in Westchester, and Jakes has also been holding classes there for 4 years. 4 years now. Wow. Seems like it was yesterday we started that class. I would also like to acknowledge and welcome our MCs, Dr. Alex Matthew, Aksa Verghese, and Noel Roy, the volunteering parents, parents of grads, friends, and family who have come from near and far. Especially this holiday season, it is hard to make time for us, so we appreciate you guys taking your time to come enjoy the celebration with us. For everyone here, I'm almost done. Next is our key supporters, Mr. Monty George from Westchester Medical Center. We also thank our library staff, the Yonkers library staff, namely John and Carlos, who has been helping us with everything here, and we welcome you to our organization. And we welcome you to our center. Now we also have a professional photographer here, Mr. Matthew Monchero. He's going to be our photographer for the day, so we welcome you and thank you for doing this. We also have to thank our videographer, Mr. Chajan. Thank you guys for your support and help, and we welcome you to our group. So as I'm sure none of us can wait for the ceremony to get underway, I just want to add one more thing before I leave you guys. We always think about graduation as an ending and a new beginning. I would like to urge you guys to think about it a little differently today. I want you guys to think about graduation not as the ending, but just as the beginning. Because you guys are not ending anything. You will take with you everything you learn from this cohort, from these people. You will take these friends you made, you will make them your family one day, and at the end of the day, you will put it into practice in whatever field you choose. Because communication is the basis of every field. And without communication, our language would be dead. Human beings would not survive. So overall, I just want you guys to remember that whatever we preach, we should practice. Unless we can be very, very efficient in communication, we will not be able to be the better leaders of tomorrow and create a better tomorrow. So I want to urge you guys one more time to use these skills in your lives, employ it, become the wonderful leaders that I can see in you guys today. Thank you, guys.
What a wonderful, inspiring welcome speech. Gives us real perspective as far as how this thing started, how it's grown, and what the future's going to look like. Terrific. Now it's my distinct pleasure to invite the Senator, Shelley B. Meyer, to the stage to give us our keynote address. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a round of applause.
Thank you. Good morning. Good morning. Okay, a little more oomph. Good morning. Good morning. Okay, I feel better. I feel better. Thank you for having me. Thank you to Jacob for staying in touch with me after 4 years ago when I had the honor to go to the beginning of Jake's Academy when you first kicked off, and there were only a few students. And look at today. It is a fantastic tribute to his leadership, to the allies and friends and supporters, and also to this entire community for investing in your children, you who are parents, to make them successful speakers, not only speakers and communicators, but people who have something to say. So one of the things that I was saying this morning that I want to speak about, as I am now a state senator, I started as an assembly person. I represented only Yonkers. Now I have a big Senate district from the Bronx border in Yonkers all the way to the Connecticut border. But I still live here in Yonkers. And every day I try to talk to people about what they care about. Because that is my job, is to fight for people and what they need. And I am the chair of the Senate Education Committee. So I have this great opportunity to fight for kids. I like to say I'm a kid person, so I'm so happy to be with you. I have 3 children, I have 3 grandchildren. Every day I go to schools, every day that I can, and I sit in the class, and I try to imagine what it feels like to be 7, 8, 9, 10, again, 11, 12. Sort of nervous about what other people think about me, not sure that I have something to say, not sure that I can get up and say it. Sometimes sure that I'm right, but then I get intimidated. Sometimes sure that I'm right and mad that other people don't believe me. And these are all the things I remember when I go back to school. And I want to talk a little bit about how I learned to speak and how I got better. It's a path you have to continue to work at. You don't learn it and then end it. As was said before, this is the beginning to improve how you speak. So I had sort of 5 sort of precepts or little rules that I think help me become a better speaker and learn to communicate. First is to stand up and say, you know, I am someone. I'm not going to shy and hide in the background. I am a person who has something to say. And I'm not embarrassed, I'm not afraid. I have confidence in what I am and who I am. And even as a young person, you can do that. So here's my story of that. My father ran for office also. I was 7 years old. He ran for office many times, not to be partisan, but he was a Democrat. These were the old days in Westchester. Democrats didn't win. But he believed you should run for office and say something. So he was running for office, and the election place was right up here in Yonkers. And he asked me to hand out flyers for him. And I did at age 7, right as you drive into the polling place. And you adults know that in America we have a rule. You have to be 100 feet from the polling place to hand out literature so that you're not telling people how to vote. So I'm there, 7 years old, handing out the stuff as people walk in. And the Yonkers police come up to me. And they say, you are too close. You are too close. You cannot be here. Well, I was 7 years old, and they were police officers. And I was totally intimidated, and I ran home crying. I remember distinctly. But you know what? The next day, and my father did not win, I got back and said, I am someone, I have a right to be somewhere. And that is the kind of thing you have to be when you're going to speak. You have a person in there who has a story to tell, and you have the right to tell it. So that's the second thing. I have a story to tell. And I know that's one of the things you practice at Jake's, but there is a story that you can tell, and it will transform your audience. And again, going back to my own experience, when I was young, on Sunday night, We sat around the dinner table. I was the youngest of 4 children. And my father would assign a story in the New York Times for you to report on Monday. So he would divide up the summary of the week's events, and he'd say, okay, you will talk about what happened in India last week. Prime Minister Modi and what happened there. You will talk about what happened in Brooklyn next week, because last week there was a story about that. You will tell some music star who became a sensation last week and was on TV. Now, I was sort of comfortable with this, but my sisters and brothers did not like this at all. And they always wanted the easiest story. They liked the story about the person who became a star last week on TV. And I would always get the story about what happened in India, or something which to me was far away. But I had a story to tell, and I had to practice telling the story. And when you tell a story, whether it's about yourself, something you see, something you experience, you relate to somebody one-on-one. You look at somebody and say, you know what, let me tell you what happened to me. Let me tell you what happened to somebody I saw. And that's how you begin to change minds, one story at a time. I bet our guest speaker is going to do this. This is practice. And that's the third thing, practice. So you do have to practice. It's not an easy thing. All the times I've been running for office, I've won, I've lost, it's been a long time. Over time you get better and you have to still practice. So if you are tired of practicing, please don't get tired. You have to continue to practice. And you know what, practicing can be fun because while you're practicing, you're thinking about these things. I have a story. I am somebody. I have a right to stand up. And I have no reason to shy away and be afraid. I want to communicate something about the world. The fourth thing is, who's in your audience? Who is in the audience? So today I have these fantastic graduates and their family members and distinguished members of this community. Who is the audience? I need to speak to the audience. I don't need to tell a story that doesn't relate to the people here. And I always want to practice who's my audience. So I'll give you an example of that. One of my friends was just running for office for the second time. She lost the first time. And she went to a big meeting of people who take care of other people in their homes when they're sick, home care workers. Now, if I were her, I would have told a story which she had in her brain about her mother having been taken care of by a wonderful home care worker. Someone who came and cared about her mother, a stranger, but who came to their house and took care of her mother when she was sick, and how appreciative she was, and how personal it was that this person cared about someone she loved. You know what she did? She told a story about environmental issues. And I thought to myself, well, that's sort of silly. That's not the audience we're in. We're in the audience of people who work every day for very little money taking care of other people. Tell a story that shows you know what they're experiencing. And so that's the other part. Know your audience. So I have all these wonderful students here in my audience from different grades, starting at 6, and I think going to high school, right? And all of you have spent a lot of time and a lot of commitment practicing and gaining skills in order to be ready to be graduates of Jake's Academy, to stand up and say, I am proud that I have something to say. So please, know the audience that you're talking to. I'm not talking to a bunch of home care workers, and I'm not talking to, maybe there's a lot of people in healthcare here, but I am talking to you, the students, about what you've achieved and how you can continue to get better. And the last part of the tools, in my opinion, of being an effective speaker and communicator is we're here to make the world better. That's what I believe. And everyone doesn't have to agree with me about doing that or how to do it. But we are here to change the world. We're only here for a short time. And as an elected official, my job is to take this incredible honor of this democracy, where people elect people who have opinions, and say, I'm going to do something for it. I'm going to make a difference. And I have a friend and a colleague. He's a member of the Assembly, Michael Blake from the Bronx. And when he stands up and speaks, you know what? In the Assembly, which is 150 people, Democrats and Republicans, it's a big chaotic place. People are talking and not paying attention. When he stands up and speaks, everybody is silent. And sometimes I cried after he spoke. And sometimes I changed my vote after he spoke, because he had something to say about making the world a better place, and our obligation and our opportunity. And speech is a way that you can change people's minds. You can make people do things. You can discourage ugliness and talk about civility and how we have to listen to each other. You can get away from some of the tone of insult and talk about caring and listening and disagreeing without disagreement. And this man, Michael Blake, is a great example. I encourage you to watch him on YouTube, of somebody who changes the world through speech. Of course, we had Reverend Dr. King, and we had John F. Kennedy. We've had fantastic leaders. Eleanor Roosevelt, I encourage you, go back and watch and listen to what she said. Their words had power, but their words had a purpose. And the purpose was to leave this world a better place, a fairer place for every child. And as someone who is committed to making America a better and a more perfect democracy, I believe that's my obligation. So I take all these lessons of speech. First, I am somebody. 2, I have a story to tell. 3, I practice. 4, I know my audience. And 5, I want to make the world a better place through speech and communication. And together I try every day to improve the way I communicate, to be more powerful. As Jake said, to look somebody in the eye and then see if you can make a difference, because you can. And in the practice and in the perfection of communicating, you will all become stronger people, not only as adults, but now as young people. You can change your school, your world, your community, right now with the power of speech. So it's truly my honor, and I want to ask all the graduates to stand for 1 minute. Please stand. Because I want to declare you all officially graduates of Jake's Academy. Congratulations to you. Thank you for letting me come by, talk about the power of speech and communication. Use your voice, use what's inside you that's unique to you, and take that all the way to communicating and changing the world. Thank you very, very much. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Senator Meyer, for those very inspiring words. Anybody who didn't get any kind of inspiration from what Senator Meyer said, you don't have a pulse. Thank you for sharing your very personal stories. That really makes a difference, and that's how people are shaped. That's how people grow from their experiences, and your journey's just starting, but take advantage of everything that you heard today, because it really is something that is a treasure. We have no choice but to move forward and do the things that we can, just like Senator Meyer said. Next, I would like to introduce George Matthew. He's 5 years old. He'll be 6 in April. And so please welcome George Matthew. He's just going to say a few words. We'll go from there. Georgie?
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I'm thankful for the opportunity to speak and represent the proud graduates of Jake's Academy. I was 2.5 when I started to sit in with my 3 sisters in Jake's class. I spent half of my life with Jake. educational journey. On Friday afternoons, my dad would take us to Parsippany and we'll get in our final practice sitting in traffic. I remember my first speech, Why I Am Smart. I might have done an abrupt conclusion, but back then I didn't even know what that means. Jake's class was like climbing a mountain for me. The Parsippany group is pretty awesome. Jake is so funny, he goes with names. He calls me Jorge Matthias. He says when I come in, Hey, Jorge! Jake makes us comfortable and the parents uncomfortable. When I'm 50 years old, I'll be speaking in front of other grandpas. And then in honor of Jake, I will make a new batch in Columbia. It will be called Jorge's Academy of Public Speaking.
Thank you, George. I don't know where he gets it from. All right, so now is the moment that we've all been waiting for, the presentation of the medal and commendations and diploma. And now, the graduates. Anya Shetty. Aaron Kurian. Aaron Matthews. Abel John. Abhinav Aravind. Abigail Thomas. Adrina Tiju. Advay Rajesh. If the 10 graduates who we called can go back to their seats. Aiden, Anthony, Alan Thomas, Alexia Jacob, Alexis Jacob, Amrita Nair, Angela Matthew, Angelina Jacob, Anisha Kumar, Annette Murugan, Arin Ravindran, Arne Saxena, Arshia Manaj, George Matthew. Ashwin Thomas. Austin Badaseri. Benjamin M. Barnum-Donham. Catherine Joseph. Chris Koruth John. Christopher Jimmy. Christopher Koshi. Dane John. Della John. Divya Joseph. Eliana Eliz George. Alicia George. Gabriella Matthew. Hannah Barnican. Irene A. Parnandanan. Isabel Matthew. Isabella Prasad. Isaiah Minaz.
Jaskaran Purwal. Jason Epen. Jaren Koshi. Jobin Binu Daniel. Joel Jacob. Joel Thomas. Jonah Matthew. Josh Jimmy. Josh Phillip. Justin Binu Daniel. Catherine S. Verghese. Kevin S. Idikil. Krishna B. Mehta. Kunnal Pahuja. Lilia Joseph. Mebin George. Navia Joseph. Nicole Nancia. Nitya Satish.
Ramastri Kotagiri. Rebecca M. Prasad. Sanaya Chagro. Sanjana Sara Chagro. Sarah Abraham. Sarah John. Sarah Matthew. Sarah Phillip. Sarah Miriam Matthew. Shana Cherry. Sean Cherian. Shreya Satyam. Steffi Workies. Tobin Alexander. Vishnu Suresh. Raj Patel. Zaina Matthew. Varsha Sati.
So that concludes our procession for the graduation. At this time, I'd like to introduce the man who touched our lives in so many ways. A man who is so passionate about speech. He teaches all of us a lesson of how if we pursue in life the things that we're most passionate about, we can truly succeed. And this ceremony is a testimony to that. I'd like to introduce the man who perfected Jake's method, Jake Jobson.
Thank you very much. You guys made Jake. And parents, you are the people behind Jake's. And I may congratulate all my kids. God bless you and congratulations. There was a time while I was a second grader, one of my school teachers pulled me out and, hey, come forward and do a speech on November 14th on Children's Day in Kerala. And my kids, most of my students, they know the story. The very first time that Jake on the stage. You remember the story? Hey, Georgie, all right, what happened to Jake on that day?
He peed on the stage.
Yes, poor Jake, a village kid of Kerala. Now, God made use of many to help you guys. But I have to say one thing. This is nothing. I just help you to figure out that, as our mayor, senator mentioned earlier, I just help you to figure out. And I just help you to look into you and to realize that you are smart. Today you proved it. Now, yeah, a long way you have to travel. A long way you have to travel. You started sometimes in my class. When I asked you first time, what do you want to become? I want to become a marine biologist. You remember those days. Oh, I want to become a pediatrician because my pediatrician gave me a Dora. And the next semester you told me, wait man, that research about cyanobacteria in Arizona, oh, that is awesome. I want to become a biologist. Then one day Arindavindran told me, I want to become a physicist, astrophysicist. Then Rajpatel told me, I want to be in politics, I want to become there in White House. Yes. And I got a lot of things from you guys like that. But have you decided yet? If not, this is the time. What do you want to become? Ask 100 times. Pray hard. Discuss with your parents. Try to see you in you. Then work hard. Determination, persistence, and sleepless nights. That made that boy who appeared on the stage here. And parents, I have to congratulate and appreciate and thank you a lot because you guys, on Friday evenings after a long day, Thursday evening in the hectic traffic, Monday evening, driving all the way from your office to go to your house and pick your kid and bringing them into my class, and then sitting there, yes, hearing Jay, Daddy, Mommy, yeah, you have to support your kid like that, I know, but today is the day. As I mentioned, it just starts. Help your child. The seed is there. Please nurture it. There will be a huge tree and birds will rest there. There will be fruits from that tree. On that day, when Jake is going to be on the rocking chair, yeah, he is going to buy for me. And there will be some good memories and I may get some, during those days, no, there may not be emails, right? There may be something else, I don't know what is going to happen. But I would like to hear those good news from my students, those who are graduating today. Congratulations, parents. Definitely your hard work, yes, that is being paid off today. And this is the first stage. You will get more from them. Stay with them. Support them. Please help them to develop. And Senator, we are so grateful to you. We are so grateful. Please put your hands for our Senator. Mr. Abraham Thomas, yes, I know, a busy man directing that huge hospital. Thank you for your presence. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. The entire Christian community of Westchester, Indian community of Westchester, at India Center of Westchester, yes, Mr. Vice President, Mr. Padmanabhan is here. Sir, we thank you very much. Thank you. In 2003, when I moved from Canada to US, I was sitting in my room, developing all the theories, what I got from Canada, what I got from other universities. Then I got a call from one of the bishops of my church in Rockland. And the man who referred my name to that bishop was Ms. Fanny George. Through that, the Jakes Academy rooted it in New York. Ms. Fanny George, thank you very much. And my team, Jakes team, where is Mr. Pahucha? Can you wave your hand for me? Please. The man behind all the forms you received for sign up and all this, the techie team, chief, Mr. Pahucha. If you got a text message or a form to sign in the midnight, 2 a.m., it is the work of Mr. Pahucha with my office. And he is from New Jersey and his entity, Pahucha Solutions, is going to support you whenever you are in need. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Thank you. And Mr. Matthew, your photography, I know I have confidence in you, the official photographer. Then, Shajan and team for the videography. We thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Axel Verghese, my graduate, 2 years ago. And then Noel Roy, 2 years ago. And I have Ashley, she's here somewhere else. she was here. And the entire crew led by Dr. Alex. Thank you very much. And the team were bringing the food here. We are waiting for that. Yes. We are a little bit early today. But we are going to get enough time, 30 minutes to get photo shoot with our center. Yes, of course. She agreed to be with us until 12 o'clock. So, the food team, Mr. Abraham and team, we congratulate you and thank you very much. All these arrangements made by two volunteer parents, Elizabeth and Ms. Milda from Rockland. Please put your hands forward. The custodian of this building. Yes, he is not supposed to work today. But he said, 87 students, kids graduating, I'll be there. I'll be there. And he came here very early today morning for us. Please put your hands for him. Friends, what else? I'm so thrilled, I'm so happy, and I'm so grateful to God and my grandparents, my grandfather, my parents, my daddy, mommy, under their boots where I was to become an eloquent speaker. And my teachers, the second grade teacher who pulled me out is no. I thank him. Otherwise, they would not be the ex-academy. And I'm so thrilled and happy to see all you graduate parents once again. I thank you all for your support. Please, my students, I have two more pieces to share with you. Whenever you are touching a podium in your life, it may be an official, it may be an unofficial situation. It may be a graduation, a Swiss street pizza party in your basement. But when you are standing up to say one or two words, remember your parents. They are the one brought you to this world. They are the one brought you to Jake's Academy. They are the one there for you, and you are just because of your parents. Can you do me a favor? Stand up, please. Turn towards your parents and hug them. Yes, please. Please turn towards your parents. Hug yourself. When you are hugging yourself, you are hugging your parents. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Parents.